Is switching over to Project Fi worth it? That is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Now, if you're not familiar with Project Fi, let me give you some quick facts. Project Fi is actually Google's cell service. You could say it's a competitor to the bigger networks like T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, and it is, but it's a little bit more complicated than that because Project Fi, unlike these other bigger players, doesn't actually have its own cell towers. They lease towers from Sprint, T-Mobile, and US Cellular. So you're actually getting coverage from 3 different networks, and you're getting that same fast 4G LTE speed. Now, you do have to live in the US to be a customer, but for those who are customers that travel abroad, Project Fi has service in over 135 different countries. So I'm gonna tell you right out of the gate, I love Project Fi. I've been a customer since November of 2016. It's now August 2017. And so far, I really haven't had any bad experiences with them. There are some things that I think make Project Fi stand out above the rest, and that's what I want to focus on in this video. Let's start with the simplicity of Project Fi. Right off the bat, you can see how simple Project Fi really is. I mean, signing up, you just sign in with your Google account, right? You don't have to worry about remembering what your username was or your password. The pricing is also very simple and straightforward. You don't have that gotcha pricing that you typically see with these other competitors like Sprint or Verizon or T-Mobile. Many of these companies often have really good promotions, and on paper at first, it seems like it's gonna be a really good deal. And many times it is a really good deal until that promotion ends and then the price jacks up. And now you're stuck in this super long contract paying unreasonable prices for your cell service. So let me break down that pricing for you. Project Fi has one plan that is customizable for everybody, depending on what your needs are. First, you have the basic price for the first user, which is $20 a month, and that gives that person unlimited calls and texts, which is pretty standard in 2017. Any person after that is $15 per additional user. Then you have the data, and the way they charge for data is for each gigabyte, it's $10. So if you want to use 2 gigabytes a month, that's $20 a month. If you want 4 gigabytes a month, $40 a month, and so on. And the cool thing is that any unused data you have at the end of the month is actually credited back to you. So if you purchase 2 gigabytes, but you only use 1.5 gigabytes, you're gonna get $5 back. And if you happen to go a little bit over the amount of data that you purchased, that's fine. They will just prorate how much you used and charge you for that. So if you went, 0.2 gigabytes over your plan, they're not gonna charge you for the full gigabyte. They're just gonna charge you for the 0.2 that you used. So you could technically just purchase 1 gigabyte a month, no matter how many people on your plan, and then just pay that prorated amount. Either way, it adds up to be the same. I like to prepay just so I know what to budget for the month. And this might be my favorite part of Project Fi, no early termination fees. So if you only use it for 1 month or 2 months and you're not happy and you want to switch over to another network, no problem. There's no contract holding you down like you would have with these other bigger companies. Now let's quick talk about the phones that you can use in this plan. And this might be Project Fi's biggest drawback. And for some, it could be a deal breaker. The biggest problem with Project Fi is that it only works for select phones, and they are the Google phones. So you have the Nexus 5X, you have the Nexus 6, the Nexus 6P, and of course you have the new Google Pixel lineup, both the regular and the XL. Those are the phones that are eligible for Project Fi. If you have a Samsung phone or any other Android phone or an iPhone, those phones unfortunately do not work with Project Fi as of right now. I don't see that changing in the foreseeable future. Obviously the Google Pixel 2 and any other Google phones in the future are gonna be part of Project Fi, but that's just the way it is right now. Fortunately, the Google Pixel is an incredible phone. I actually did get the Google Pixel when I signed up for Project Fi, and it's awesome. I mean, it's August 2017 right now, and this phone is still regarded by many as the best Android phone of 2017. And yes, I'm saying that after the S8, which is an incredible phone. I still think the Google Pixel is a better phone. There's certainly things I don't like about it, but overall, it's a really, really good phone. Like, you will not be disappointed using the Google Pixel. Now keep in mind, I came from years of using the iPhone, and I still think the iPhone's a great phone, and I loved my iPhone experience. I was very hesitant to switch over to the Google Pixel, but I have not looked back. It is really a great phone. The next thing is how easy and supportive Project Fi is. When I got my phone in the mail, literally within 5 minutes, I was up and running with my phone number, calling people, texting. Setting up is a breeze. Pop in your SIM card, go through the steps, and you're connected. And if you ever do run into issues, their customer support is incredible. Usually within a minute, you can be chatting with someone, either just on the Project Fi website. They have the Project Fi app on your phone, and you can just start chatting through the app, or you can just give them a phone call. And literally every time I have talked to customer support about something, I've never waited longer than a minute. They're super fast, and when you're actually talking to them, you know that you're talking to like another real human who understands you and sympathizes with you, and they're extremely helpful. So how much am I paying each month? Well, between me and my wife, we pay $35, $20 for me, $15 for her, the additional user. And then between both of us, we use about 4 gigabytes of data a month. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, but that's $40 right there. So now you're at $75. And then, you know, the standard taxes and fees and whatnot, that's about $7 a month. So all in all, my bill each month is about $80, maybe a little bit higher than $80 after tax. And that's incredible, and it's an incredible price compared to what I was paying before with Sprint. Now this is not the first time that I have done a video on Project Fi. I have done one before, and the common comment that I saw in the comment section was how outrageous the pricing was for Project Fi. And I think if you're that idiot who's sitting at home and you're streaming Netflix and YouTube on your cell network when you could have just switched over to Wi-Fi, yeah, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg for that, obviously. But most of us, through most of the day, are usually in a Wi-Fi network. I use about 40 to 45 gigabytes of data a month. However, only about 2 of that happens on my cell network. So I'm only paying for those 2. So of course you're not gonna most people are gonna use way more than that 2 or 4 gigabytes of data a month, but most of that happens on a Wi-Fi network. You can also get a little bit smarter about how you're using data. Most good phones have data saving features, so check it out, whether it's iPhone, whether it's Android. Do what you can to maybe stop some of that unnecessary background refreshing with those open apps, because that alone right there can suck a lot of your data, and it's data that you're not really even using. You're paying for it and not seeing any benefit out of it. So yeah, Project Fi is awesome. If you're seriously considering switching to Project Fi, go ahead and use my link down below in the description, and that will get you 20 bucks off your first bill with Project Fi. And again, you can cancel at any time. So if you hate it, whatever, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like you just signed a 2 or 3 year deal with a company and now you're stuck with them unless you pay some huge cancellation fee. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer those questions. And what do you think about Project Fi? Do you think it's worth it? Any of you have it? I'd love to hear your experiences, or maybe your concerns, or why you'll never ever get Project Fi. Let's keep that discussion going in the comment section. Until next time, this is Tech Audit TV.